And
Fantasy Blitz. I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam.
And I'm stoked for week 8 because I won and I shouldn't have won in the fantasy league.
And I won and I should have won. And I should always win. Let's take a look at them power rankings while we're talking about it.
Guys, all right. So here's the situation. Here's the situation. Here, so it doesn't really matter to you guys, but yeah, it's not looking good for Fantasy Blitz Nick.
Every good fantasy league needs a strong foundation.
Yeah.
And you are that foundation. You're down there holding us all up.
You son of a bitch.
you're not alone, Nick. There's one for every league. Every league has one.
That's right. We got Eli.
Yeah.
Elijah.
Get him on the camera.
Get him
What's
on there.
going
Get
on?
over there.
Let's go.
Fantasy Blitz. Come on
Let's go,
now.
Fantasy Blitz. This is going to be a great week. I'm stoked.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was my forget who I was playing, but their defense, they had San Francisco's defense, and they got -3, and that's why I won.
I in most of my other leagues I did that. So
Yeah.
thanks, San Francisco. Never starting you again.
Never ever. But we're here. We're back to going live because it didn't really help us out all that much in the YouTube algo, as it were. But
Comments are way more fun to read.
and
too.
yeah, the chat's so lit all the time. So let's go. Let's get into it.
Yeah. So week 8, nobody's on bye. We talked about this on Tuesday, how like 6 people were on bye last week and 6 people are on bye next week, and nobody's on bye right now. So that's great. I love it. I hate having to deal with, like last week, I had 6 players on bye. I mean, what was I supposed to do? I almost pulled out a win, but I didn't. So this week, nobody's on bye, which is awesome. There are, however, a lot of random little injury pop-ups that we'll kind of cover. Some of them have sorted themselves out as the day has progressed, but a lot of them were like kind of concerning. A lot of star players, a lot of big names. So let me see that injury report, that first slide there. Oh, actually.
Yeah, you should probably like and subscribe first.
Probably
guys.
should.
We're not out here. This isn't a charity, okay?
Yeah.
Smash the like
and
button on your
subscribe.
way in. That's the fee. Okay, come on.
And if you're in the live chat, thank you.
Yeah,
Go ahead
appreciate
and
you.
let us know your start and sit questions, everything like that. I love to answer them. I love it. And we're here. So this is your last chance. Okay, so injury report stuff. Like I was saying, a lot of these have sort of, figured themselves out. Some players have come back to practice. Some have not been practicing. Aaron Jones has been a nightmare for everybody who owns him in fantasy. He's had a hamstring problem since week 1 and has never really had more than like 10 touches in a game since then. I think he missed like 3 weeks straight, came back, got like 3 carries, missed another week, came back last week, didn't really do anything, and then he was like not practicing this Monday, and then now he's officially back at practice. However long that lasts, I'm not sure. So that says did not practice. Today he did practice. So
Okay.
just
that's
amend that. Yesterday he did not practice, but keep an eye on him always. And the thing is, like, if he's playing, you're starting him, so you kind of have to watch. Another one that has since changed is Tyreek and Raheem Mostert. I had them on there because they weren't practicing. Tyreek suffering with a hip injury and Mostert an ankle injury. Tyreek was in a press conference today, and he was like, nope, I'm good to go. Like, we're rolling. And I think Mostert was back to practice today, so that's a good sign. Not super worried about either of them. Jerome Ford, however, for the Browns, not going to play.
Annoying.
Not going to play. And I know a lot of people were... Yeah, very annoying. I know a lot of people were kind of wondering, like, is Kareem Hunt going to play? Because he wasn't practicing. Good news is he's back at practicing and is trending towards playing. So that's okay. If you have Kareem Hunt, congratulations. If you have Jerome Ford, sorry, he's out. Doesn't look like he's going to go on IR, though. So that's nice.
God. Jeez.
Yeah. Brock Purdy, concussion protocol, continuing the trend of players that get concussions missing the next week of football, which is probably a good thing, just for health and safety of the league. But he will probably not be playing. There's nothing official yet, but he's not practicing. Apparently, he hasn't progressed through the protocol all the way. I can't see them playing him. It wouldn't be smart.
No, yeah, they're going to be forward focused on Brock Purdy being healthy. So
A little bit of a bummer because he was getting some traction there. He had a tough game last week, but still getting some decent traction. Still got one more slide here of injury reports. There we go.
Wow.
Roshan Johnson. This is a fun one. He's been annoying. Concussion. He's good. Should be playing this week.
But he won't.
So I think he will. I think he will.
You think
I think
he will?
we're okay. Yeah.
All right.
I'm pretty sure Roshan Johnson's going to play this week. He full practice today. So that's always a great sign. If a player's full practicing, you can pretty much lock him in. Justin Fields, on the other hand, for the Bears, not practicing, has had that thumb issue for, 3 weeks now? 2 weeks now? Something like that.
Coming up on 3.
Yeah, this will be week
perhaps.
3 of that thumb problem. He's probably not going to play. He's not been practicing. Nothing is pointing towards him playing. If he does, it'd be great, but I think they've been rolling out T-Bag, and they're a little confident with him last week, and they're going to roll him out
That's
again.
not nice. That's not nice.
Oh, I like it. He looked so great last week. I feel like I can call him that.
He got called that a lot in school.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
And
Sorry
look,
about
he's
my...
a poor person, okay? He's an undrafted rookie. The kid is making no money.
Mm-hmm.
He's making $0. He's basically out there, like, just putting his body on the line, hoping to get a paycheck down the road. I hope
And he
he's able to
should.
get there. I mean, my God, does he have a spot at the Panthers? Hell yeah.
Probably.
Someone just send that kid to the Panthers.
Or the Titans. The Titans are going to roll out Will Levis this week. Like,
Are they actually?
yeah.
Hang on, let's pull up the stats for
Yeah,
Will
so they
Levis.
said screw Malik Willis. He doesn't have he's a rookie. They just drafted
I was
him.
like, where's he? L-E-V, Levis, Will Levis.
But
Let's see where he's from.
the reports came out. They're going to roll him out this week. They said, screw it. Tannehill's not playing. Let's roll him out and see how he does. Has not played a snap.
He's a gigantic man.
He's big.
He's 6'4", 230 pounds. We're talking about
Yeah.
Josh Allen size.
I think he was
yeah,
like,
he's huge.
it was a projection that he was going to be like on the first day draft, and like nothing happened,
Yeah,
and everybody
he
was
supposed
like,
to be like
like
one of
top
the
5
first
guys.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, all right, what's going on? Like, where is he? And then he finally got picked up really late by the Titans, and then hasn't really played since. But I think from what I just read, like they're rolling him out this weekend.
That'll be interesting. And wait, who are they playing again?
The Titans are playing
Falcons.
the Falcons. Yeah.
Oh, they're going to walk all over the Falcons.
Whoa,
I don't know.
whoa.
Look, I'm sorry, Elijah. I'm sorry.
Rookie QB.
It's just one of those things. Mediocre teams are falling to rookie QBs. They're doing it.
I don't know.
They're doing it.
I think
Second
it'll
round.
be-
I will be.
that one's going to be a low scoring game, real low scoring.
Yeah. His QB rating will be higher than we're all expecting. I'm going to go ahead and say that.
I would love to see it. Joshua Palmer for the Chargers recently showed up with a knee injury and didn't practice. He also didn't practice today, so 2 days out. That's not a good look. He's been pretty hot recently for the Chargers, and if if he does not play this weekend, like Justin Herbert losing another weapon, that leaves him with legitimately Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, and then if Quentin Johnston wants to actually do something
Huge.
that would have to happen
Probably
as
not.
well. Probably not, though.
Fantasy footballers are all big on Huge. They bring him up every week, and he basically does nothing every week. So as soon as they stop talking about him, guys, boys, stop talking about Huge so he can actually excel. All right, guys.
Okay, got a
The
couple
chat
questions.
is lit right now. Okay, chat is lit. Ryan G says he scooped up the Chiefs defense and replaced the Bills.
Good move. I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, the Bills have.
For the
they've been
Bills,
getting
though?
They've been getting pretty banged up on the
Yeah,
defensive
that's
side.
kind of how they go, though. That's how they.
And the Chiefs D has looked incredible. I mean,
Yeah,
they
Chiefs D has looked
made the
nice.
Chargers, embarrassed.
yeah. Okay.
Bourne or Gabe Davis? I'm gonna shout this one out. I know this is gonna get argued. I have had Bourne on my fantasy team for 2 weeks now, and he's been perfectly fine. So I'm happily rolling out Kendrick Bourne again. He had a touchdown last week. Had like 60 yards and a touchdown, something like that. Totally decent game. I'm rolling him out.
This is the Gabe Davis ascendant week. Okay, we got the Bills coming off of getting another punch to the jaw. Okay, Bills at home with Tampa. It ain't happening, folks. It ain't happening.
Listen, if
Bills
you- if-
Mafia are gonna mafiate everywhere.
If you're in a league where you get a bonus for a 50-yard touchdown or more, and you really want to roll out Gabe Davis because you think that he's going to do that,
Look, Gabe Davis.
then go right ahead. But I'm saying this right now: Kendrick Bourne is the safer play, and
He is
will
the safer
will
play.
do good enough.
He's not fun. Okay, there will be so many broken tables in Buffalo this weekend.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to call an ambulance.
All right, a couple more here, and then we'll get into the actual starts and sits. Roshan or Foreman? I think based on how Foreman played last week, they probably should roll him out as the starter. Also because Roshan's just coming back from an injury, like maybe they kind of work that in a little slowly.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be as a slam dunk play as it was last week, but I would assume that Foreman's going to be the starter. T-Law or J Love, then Ridley, Rice, Dell, Bourne. Wait.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to roll out Trevor Lawrence.
Yep, I agree.
And then I think out of
Rice.
all those, it's between Ridley and Rice. If you're rolling out Trevor Lawrence, I kind of like Ridley just for the stack potential,
Yep.
but Rashee Rice is probably, I don't know, a little. But I'd roll Ridley. I think I'd go Ridley and
Rice
Trevor
is
and
more
Lawrence.
consistent.
Yeah.
he just is.
He is.
Yeah.
But I think Ridley's due to return to form a little bit. And this is a really good matchup for them. I think they're playing the Steelers. think they're playing the Steelers,
Yeah, they are.
which is a
hang
pass
on.
funnel.
Pass funnel.
It is.
Yeah,
they're
it
playing
is,
the
yeah.
Steelers.
Yeah.
And the Steelers just get thrown on. That's what they do.
Yeah, but dude, it's Kansas City versus the Broncos. You know Rice he's going to put up
But
points
here's the thing.
I know. They're going to get
I
ahead
could
and
see,
they're gonna run the
yes,
ball.
exactly. I could see Travis Kelce getting his 2 touchdowns and 100 yards, and then the Chiefs run the ball.
It's so annoying that you're right. That's so annoying. Okay, I'll redact it. Rice is fine if you're in a deep league and you need a deep flex.
Yes.
But if you have the option,
Probably the smarter play is
go
probably
with-
Ridley.
is Ridley. Yeah, even though Ridley's been annoying, he's been very annoying this year.
Yeah, I'm heavily overinvested in Bijan. You should still be invested in Bijan.
Yeah.
I think last week was a fluke. Although I hate Arthur Smith with everything in me.
You're
we
not
got
alone. Not alone.
You're not overly invested. You're perfectly invested in Bijan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yes, we also need Henry to not get traded. So here's the thing:
God's sake.
I think Henry getting traded, if he goes to the right team like the Ravens, that could be good for everybody. Like that's
Oh my
good for the
gosh.
Ravens.
Can you imagine that?
I mean, that's like what it's looking like. I think they were saying that the top contenders right now are the Bills and the Ravens. I can't see the Bills doing
it's-
it.
Nah, the Bills, there's no way.
Their cap situation's not there. They already have a decent running back. They don't use their decent running back, so it's like I can't really see it happening. But if he goes to the Ravens and we have Lamar and Derrick Henry on a team,
Wow,
and
we
then
will.
also now we get Tyjae Spears finally unleashed on the Titans, like that's fun. I like that.
Yep. Yep. I like it too.
Yeah. So.
too.
He says the reason is because he has Gus Edwards as the running back too.
Yeah.
That sucks. That's a tough spot to be in. I'm sorry. All right. So stars and sits this Thursday. Tonight's game is Tampa Bay versus Buffalo. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. Nothing to really be super scared of. Rashad White has been doing decent enough to where you can continue starting him. He's decent in the passing game, whatever.
I still only see Roddy White when I see
I know, old school, yeah. And then Godwin and Evans, both those guys have been good enough to where you can keep rolling them out too. Buffalo's defense is normally pretty scary, but they're pretty banged up right now, so I think I'd be okay rolling them out. I think it'll be a decent game. Buffalo, of course, Josh Allen, you're starting Stephon Diggs. James Cook has been a little disappointing recently, but I still think, I mean, he's good enough to keep going to. And you probably have him as your RB3 or something. So that's fine. And then with Dawson Knox now not playing, potentially going on IR, nothing official out of that yet.
Yep.
That means Dalton Kincaid is like, oh, great. Now we got, a new tight end. So we can roll him
Yeah.
out fairly confidently.
I mean, he's supposed to go under wrist surgery.
yeah.
So,
I think he did today, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
Or
Then
something.
I imagine he's out for at least 4 weeks. And if they're going
Yeah.
to put him out for 4 weeks, they're going to put him on IR.
Yes, they should.
yeah, they have to.
Which means you could
can
stuff
see
him
that
on
happening.
your IR slot. If you got an open IR slot, stuff him on
Yeah.
there.
Even so, like neither of the tight ends for the Buffalo are utilized super heavily, but I think Kincaid has some really good metrics to him. His, pass catching percentages and stuff against different coverages is really nice. Got great hands. I like him. I would try him this weekend. I think it's a good spot to try him. I'm not playing Gabe Davis. I'm sorry.
Fine.
He had that great streak, and I was like, all right, everybody, like this is great, and watch out though.
Now that you've doubted the Davis, he's going to come back.
I doubted him last week, and I was right. That's all I got to say.
All right. That's
So
fine.
I'm sitting Gabe Davis. I think if you have Gabe Davis, you have a better option. Like he should be your wide receiver 4
Yeah.
on your team.
That's fair.
So
That's fair.
let's get to the next one. First game of Sunday. This is a fun one because this should be a complete and total wash. Philadelphia should steamroll them. And I know the way you said that, I agree. This could be a big-time trap game for Philadelphia defense.
Yeah.
Like, it could be. For whatever reason, that happens. However, Philadelphia's defense has been pass rushing elite recently. Like, they just have plenty of pass rushers. They're getting tons of sacks. Washington, on the other hand, is giving up a historic number of sacks. So you have an elite pass rush versus a historically bad O-line. That's a that's a good combo. Like you can't really go too wrong with that.
Yep.
On Philadelphia's side, outside of their defense, you're rolling out Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert,
Everybody.
DeAndre Swift. You're rolling out them all.
The gang's all here.
Yeah, they're all gangs all here.
Yep.
They're all good enough to start, and you should be starting them because they're all like, I don't know, top 5 in their positions
Yeah.
each. Maybe not Smith, but like Hurts, top 5 QB, A.J. Brown, top 3 wide receiver, Goddard, probably top 5 tight end, Swift, top 5 running back. Like, they're just elite offense. Washington, if you have McLaurin, I think you have to play him. They're going to end up chucking the ball a whole lot. Whether they have 5 seconds to sit back in the pocket and throw it, probably not, but somebody's got to catch a football.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be McLaurin. I wouldn't be happy about it, but you probably have to.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I've got another juicy. I wish I went over the slides earlier today, but I've got a juicy defensive play that I talked about yesterday. We'll see if you added it to it today.
Okay, I don't think I added many other defenses. The reason I put this one on here was because it's such like a it should be such a smash play.
We'll talk about that when we get later on down the road. Let's move on.
New Orleans and Indianapolis.
I mean, yeah.
There's really not much to say here.
I would play Minshew.
I know.
I would play Minshew. Okay.
Here's the deal. New Orleans defense has looked really good against just about everybody that they play.
You're not wrong.
And they're
But
shutting
they played
down
the Browns.
Yeah.
And Minshew showed out, son.
I know, but also like New Orleans secondary is elite, man. They are elite. And I love Gardner Minshew. I think he could be great, but I don't think this is the week to roll him out. And I think most people aren't in a position where they have to start him.
Yeah.
I think it's like, should I start him? I don't really know. Like it's either between him and like Dak or something like that. That's probably the situation you're in if you're considering it. I don't really like Pittman this week either because it's going to be Marshawn Lattimore on Pittman. Like that's never a good sign. And then Zach Moss, his touches are trending the wrong direction with Jonathan Taylor coming back. That's why I have Jonathan Taylor as a start. Is just he looks great recently, kind of like 2 years ago Taylor. So that's really nice. But I wouldn't start Zach Moss. I think Jonathan Taylor's just about all you can get. You're starting Alvin Kamara. You're starting Chris Olave. I know he was arrested, but nothing is going to come out of that. They've already said like nothing's happened. Jordan Addison can go 145 miles per hour and not get a single slap on the wrist or anything.
Yeah.
So Olave doing 35 over, that's fine. Nothing's going to happen. He's going to play.
Yep.
Michael Thomas still flexible, not super happy flexible, but he's 13 points.
Yeah.
They'll lock it in.
Shout out to Parker in the chat, Joey Page in the chat, Ryan G in the chat.
Let's go.
Chat's blowing up. Do you want to do some chat questions?
Yeah, just traded ETN and Kittle for Pollard and Andrews in a 14-team league. I got Bijan too. How you feeling about that? So ETN looks incredible.
Yeah.
And it hurts me a little bit, but Tony Pollard is like an ultimate buy low right
He's
now.
so great. And he's got Andrews.
And Mark Andrews is
So
way better
good.
than Kittle.
Oh
way
my
better
God.
than Kittle. So
Yeah.
I think that's a win for you.
Yeah, that's a good dub.
Assuming, yes, that's a win for you. Justin Ross got let free. Yeah, okay. That's good. I know he got arrested recently too, so I guess he's back out. I don't really know. Okay, Jacksonville, Pittsburgh. We talked about this a little bit. Actually, great timing with the ETN question because now we're looking at Jacksonville. Historically, Pittsburgh is a pretty good run defense. However, Travis Etienne has been elite. Like he's got 3 games in a row with 2 touchdowns.
It ain't gonna matter.
Whoa.
It ain't gonna matter.
No.
Pittsburgh's done.
Yeah. I still think Etienne's like he's just a plug and play. You roll him out, it's great. Lawrence, you probably have to keep rolling him out. This is a pass funnel, so this is the spot to start him, which means you're also starting Ingram, Kirk, and Ridley. Sorry, Ridley owners. I know it's been disappointing. Kirk is their wide receiver 1. I don't care what people like. I don't care what you think. Kirk's a wide receiver 1. Ridley's a wide receiver 2. That's just how it's been. But you should still roll him out. I think Ridley, if there's a team that he should go off against, it's this one. On the Pittsburgh side of things, nothing really super special. Starting George Pickens, he's been good enough. Starting Deontay, he got great volume last week. Decent enough stuff. Jacksonville doesn't have an elite defense or anything. They're all right, but nothing crazy. I'm not starting either of their running backs, Najee or Jalen Warren, just because I think this is going to be a little bit more of a high-scoring affair than most people think. And both those guys are like almost 50-50 touching right now. Like, neither of them are super solid as far as
Not good fantasy.
No, they're not. And I had to roll out Jalen Warren last week for some bye week hell. And he got me a touchdown, which was great, but I wasn't happy about it. He didn't do a lot for me. I think he got 10 points. Like I'm not really happy rolling out either of them, so I'd sit them both.
Yep.
Excuse me. Sorry, still getting over my little cold here. Just got a cough break.
That's what happens.
All right, what's next? All right.
This
Battle of New York.
This was it. So this is my juicy defensive pick.
Yes.
Because the Jets defense are looking very, very good. And Daniel Jones is going to be playing, apparently.
Is he?
I've heard.
Either way.
I've heard. It doesn't matter because the Jets have the #1 hurried quarterback rating
Their pass
in the
rush is
NFL.
crazy.
Their pass rush is insane. Whoever's going to be throwing it is going to be under pressure pretty much every single down, and he's going to be throwing picks.
Yeah.
So I think the Jets defense is going to be going for a really, really sweet easy double digit, possibly in the high teens affair with probably 2 or 3 picks and at least 2 sacks.
But maybe trap game? Could be.
Maybe. Even if it's high scoring, they're still going to get the picks.
Yeah.
And the sacks.
Jones is going to throw some picks. And Tyrod Taylor, if he plays, he's going to throw some picks.
Yeah.
So that being said,
the Daniel Jones news.
rolling out Jets defense is great. I didn't put it on there, but because we usually don't talk about defenses, but these are just two really smash matchups. Like, should be easy. So Breece Hall, you're starting him. This is a great spot for Breece Hall. New York Giants love to get run on. Garrett Wilson, he's been good enough. Zach Wilson is starting to look a little bit better, so Garrett Wilson's like serviceable. I think you have to keep rolling him out. And I'm not upset about that either. On the Giants side of things, Saquon has been looking good, getting a lot of carries. Roll him out.
Yep.
It's a tough matchup, but he's Saquon, so happily roll him out. Same thing with Darren Waller. He's been looking a lot better too.
I think this is going to be a Darren Waller pop-off game. I think he's going to get probably 6 backfield passes.
I can see that.
For 2 yards each.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
trying to set up some screens, and then he may get his standard 3 or 4 in the middle of the field, first down kind of situation. So
I like Waller. I
11
mean,
points or so.
I think he's been stepping up a little bit when they've been needing it, which is great. But obviously not an elite type.
Daniel Jones is on the bubble. He was a limited participant in Thursday's practice, which is today. So I'm going to go ahead and say they're going to play him.
I would imagine.
So that's even better for the Jets defense.
Oh yeah.
If there's one thing Daniel Jones loves more than anything else, it's getting sacked.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Sam. And turning the ball over.
He loves getting crushed by giant men.
Yeah.
That's one way to put it for sure.
But yeah, him and Sam Howell are just sack gods.
Gosh.
Let's check chat real quick.
They are the power bottoms of the NFL.
Oh, they are power bottoms. That's for
They're
sure.
power bottoms
That's
of the
for
NFL. We said it here first, folks.
What we got going on here? I'm still holding Moss, hoping he gets traded. I can't see that happening. It'd be smart for them to do because they don't need him anymore. But I can't see it happening. I don't really know where a good landing spot for him would even be. I'm now trying to think. Like, nowhere really needs a running back like Moss. Like, you could say maybe Ravens, maybe, I don't know. That's about it for me. I can't really see a place where I'd like to have him. Okay. Speaking of people I'd like to have, Houston, baby. Stroud is back off the bye week.
Boys. Guys, we got to wear the shirts. We got to wear the shirts
we
next
gotta
week.
have a day.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, sorry. This is a great matchup for everybody on Houston.
Oh, my God. What a great way
Yeah.
to just kick off your return from the bye week.
Oh, yeah. Matchup
Beautiful.
against Carolina. Love it. Starting Nico Collins. He has been boom or bust recently, but this is a matchup where he should be good. And the reason I have him starting and Tank Dell sitting is because I believe Nico Collins thrives better in zone coverage, and Carolina runs a lot of zone coverages.
Okay.
This is sort of what I'm hearing. I think Nico Collins is a better player anyways. He's just a bigger guy. I think Tank Dell's like 5'7", 5'8", or something like that. He's small. But he's still talented, but I'm rolling out Collins over him. Dameon Pierce has been also kind of disappointing, but this is a game where you play him. If you've got him, you probably need to play him. I doubt you have a waiver wire spot good enough for him. I mean, better than him. So I would roll him out. It's a decent matchup. I think he could go out and get you 10 points, which, that's fine.
That's fine.
Because the thing is, like, he's a very talented running back. And when he gets the ball, he like earns every single yard. Like, he's fighting every single time. The issue is that he's constantly hitting the backfield because O-line was out, but his O-line is now like mostly back. I think they're like 80% back right now, and they just got off a bye week. They should be nice and healthy against a really, really cheesy matchup here. Like, should be good. Should be good for Pierce. If he sucks this week, I don't know what to say. That'd be bad. I think CJ Stroud's a decent start as well. I think he's probably projected like 20 plus in most leagues. I'm happy rolling him out. He's super talented. I can't see Carolina's defense being able to do much about it. Same thing with Schultz. As far as tight ends go, he's probably one of the better options this week specifically. He hasn't been super great, but I think he's had like 4 games with double-digit fantasy points in PPR leagues, which, I mean, that's pretty good.
Yep.
I'd take that at tight end.
Yep.
Carolina, you're starting Thielen. I know the fall-off is coming, and if you watch Tuesday's video, we said, like, time to start considering selling Thielen.
So
it's
high.
time to start considering it
high.
because I would love to be proved wrong because I like the story of Adam Thielen still being really good, but I just can't see it. There's just no way.
Yeah, no, I was going to say the ship is sinking in Carolina. So I think it's
Yes.
get them all.
Yeah,
Get
when
'em
you're
all.
0-6, you are tanking. Like, the tank is now in effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
They
bad.
they need to go and get Bryce Young, like a solid young wide receiver that can grow up with Bryce Young, like Marvin Harrison, perhaps.
Yeah. And they also need a defense.
Yeah, they also need defense.
There's
they allow 31 points per game.
Yeah, that's
sad. Insane.
Lowest in the NFL.
For how well Carolina has been known for having a good defense, to be this like absolutely porous.
Bad.
Yeah.
The
lowest T in the entire NFL.
Oh yeah. Not starting Miles Sanders.
No.
Houston's defense is
Miles
good
Sanders.
enough.
He didn't even play himself in fantasy football.
Yeah. Houston's defense is good enough to where they can stop that pretty easily. And I believe that Carolina's going to be playing from behind, so they're going to be throwing the ball more. Good spot for Thielen, bad spot for Sanders.
Yep.
Let's get out of this crap game.
But you should like and subscribe.
Yes.
Don't get out of this crap video.
Please.
Okay? This stream is high quality. We put in the effort most of the time to give you alpha, no BS, just Blitz. Subscribe to the channel. Appreciate it. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers before the playoffs, and I think we can do it.
Yeah.
We can't do it without you.
We're grinding.
Can.
We're grinding
here every day. Every day. All right, let's go. Now, my gut says that this is not going to go the way we think it's going to go. I think it's actually going to be a lot more of a knife fight.
Yeah, I agree. And we saw that last week with New England. Like, whatever happened last week.
I think they're going to go down to Miami. They're going to do a couple lines, and things are going to get a little wavy.
They got some fire in them.
Down in the fishbowl.
And that's why I got my boy, Kendrick Bourne.
That's right.
Roll him out again. Miami's defense isn't that
Bourne
elite.
supremacy.
They're not, Miami's defense is not that crazy. They're decent, but I would be happy rolling out Kendrick Bourne. He's getting a lot of targets, getting that chemistry going. Ramondre Stevenson's been stepping up a little bit too. I think he's finally performing like how he was drafted. Maybe not quite, but close. I like them both. There's nobody really else that you consider. Like Juju, nah, it's not going to happen. Mac Jones, you're not starting Mac Jones. Like
No,
defense, you don't start their defense against Miami.
Nope.
But I do think this could be a better game than people think. That being said, on Miami's side of things, you start everybody, same as Philadelphia. You start Tua, you start Hill, you start Waddle. If they're all playing, that's why I have a smiley face next to Waddle, and I'll talk about this in a minute too. Is New England is really good at shutting down teams' wide receiver one, and that means Waddle should, in theory, thrive more.
Yep.
So I could see that happening. Doesn't mean you're sitting Tyreek Hill by any means. You're still rolling him out, of course. And Mostert is back at practice. Tyreek Hill's back at practice. All those guys are 100% playable. So don't even consider sitting any of them. Roll them all out. Pretty cut and dry for them. Let's go to the next one.
Got it.
This is a gross one. I mean, woof.
Lowscoring.com/this game.
Yes, I don't remember perfectly, but I think this is at the end of the show when we talk about the lowest scoring games. Like, I think this was the one that I put on there that's like a 35-point total or something like that. Just, bad. So, Tennessee, elite run defense. We've seen that all year. However, Bijan is Bijan. He's good enough to get around it. I don't care what happened last week. Arthur Smith, I hate you. I think Bijan goes back to what he's been doing.
Yeah.
You would think that he goes back.
Yeah.
Like, all signs would say, okay, whatever y'all are doing, like, it's not really going great. I mean, I know they have a decent-ish record, but like, you got to play your starter. Like, you drafted him way too early. You need to play him. Like, you just have to. Drake London's been good enough to continue starting, especially flexible. He's probably in most people's flex spot. I like that.
He's in mine.
Yeah. Pitts had a decent couple of games. I'm really sorry, Pitts owners. I mean, we cannot tell you to sit Pitts.
Nope.
Just because of...
Not in good faith. And again, this is another one of those games where they're going to be dumping off the Pitts.
If
they're smart, if Arthur Smith has an ounce of credibility.
The Falcons are just so hard to determine, man.
It's really tough. He's like, I really don't like Josh McDaniels as the coach of the Raiders. On the same level I put Arthur Smith. Just not really wanting to win.
Yeah. Like, that's tough.
Yeah.
On the Tennessee side of things, I think Derrick Henry is good enough to get around the Atlanta defense, who is also pretty good stopping the run, but he's Derrick Henry. He should get 20 touches this game. I'm not super worried about it. He's like a top 10, top 12
20
play
touches,
for me
5
this week.
targets.
Yeah. Very much good enough to continue starting. DeAndre Hopkins, I said bad next to it, is because if they start Will Levis, like, who knows what could happen to Hopkins?
Yeah.
It's a bad spot because it's so uncertain. Like, he could go out there and Will Levis could just force feed him. Like, I could see that happening because he's the best wide receiver. However, Will Levis could also suck, and Hopkins can't do anything. So maybe that doesn't happen. But I think rolling him out's decent enough to to keep doing. I see we got a little bit of a chat thing going on here.
Oh, yeah. CMC for Hawkinson and
Brown.
A.J. Brown.
Who's your other running backs and wide receivers? That's the question I want to ask first, because my gut reaction is like, probably not, just because Christian McCaffrey is so valuable, but so is A.J. Brown and T.J. Hawkinson.
Yeah.
So if you have somebody that can replace Christian McCaffrey even remotely, and maybe your wide receivers aren't super strong, I'm rolling that.
Yeah, if you can get within 70% of Christian McCaffrey's output, then that's pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, who is that chat is from Fat Single Mom.
Yeah, fat single mom. Who's your
Who's your other running back, girl?
Yeah. Yep.
Where you at?
Tell me. Tell me. All right, next game. Oh, I can talk about this one, man.
All right. Tell you talk about this. I got to get my laptop charger. It's about to die. So I'll be right back. But yeah, this is going to be a sad Adam moment.
Yeah, so Green Bay, I don't even know what to say about you guys. Coming out of the bye, we went up against Denver, which should have just been cake, man. It should have been cake, and whatever happened was awful, and what I saw was disgusting. People are hating on Jordan Love a little bit too hard because he actually played a decent game. I know he kind of lost the game at the very end with that bad pick, but outside of that, like, it was like 90 plus QB rating. Like, I mean,
he's growing in ways.
Yeah, he really is. And if you look at some of the things, like, a lot of it is, I hate to say, is because the receivers are running their routes wrong, or they're just like not dropping passes. They're just like, whoa, they're not really helping him out at all. So he's making the right plays. He's making the right reads, except for when it really matters, which kind of hurts, like against Las Vegas 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. That screwed us at the very end when we needed it most. This one screwed us also right when we needed it most. It's just been bad. I'm probably not going to be starting him this game. It's not a bad game to start him, but I just really need to see something click on that Green Bay offense first. And hopefully it does this week. It's not a bad matchup. It should be a high-scoring affair between us, kind of. So you would imagine Minnesota's offense is pretty good, so our defense probably is not that great. I don't know if this is plugged in.
Oh, puta.
So you're rolling out Aaron Jones if he plays. Keep an eye on that. Christian Watson is playing. He practiced in full today. You're rolling him out too. I think he's good enough to do. If for whatever reason Watson doesn't play, you can roll out Dubs. If Watson does play, I would not roll out Romeo Doubs at all. But on Minnesota's side of things, nothing really to report here outside of, you're starting Hawkinson, you're starting Jordan Addison, and you're starting Kirk Cousins. Those guys have all been consistent enough to just roll out every week and not worry about it. So, enjoy that. You have great starts. Not playing Madison, though.
Yeah, don't play Madison. I'm on the fence on Osborne, though.
Nah.
No?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, a deep league, maybe a flex play while Jefferson's out. But like last week, I mean, he had a bad penalty against him. He was just not really targeted that heavily. He had an okay game, but it's very clear that Addison is going to be the guy there, and then Hawkinson's going to be the guy behind him. So KJ Osborne, if you really, really need it, okay, that's fine. Roll him out. I'm not playing Alexander Madison. He has not been getting the work that I would expect. And Green Bay is, I know we're a little bit bad against the run right now, but I can't see them running that much on us. So that's it for this game. I mean, I can't see the Packers winning this one, although it would be a great one to win. What we got? Rams and Dallas. This should be a good game. I'm very excited for this one. So, Puka Nacua has been looking good. He looked great last week, and that is because Pittsburgh was really, really good at shutting down Kupp. I know Kupp had 2 drops or whatever in the first half. Like that, I don't really know what happened there. It just happens. Sometimes you just have a bad game. I'm not worried about Kupp whatsoever. Still got tons of targets, whatever. Puka Nacua is great, and Cooper Kupp is great. Both those guys should be rolled out every single week with the utmost of confidence. Not worried about them whatsoever. The running back situation is still kind of gross while Kyron Williams is out. We had a really gross mixture of Darrell Henderson and Royce Freeman last week. They pretty much 50-50 did. I think Darrell Henderson got a little bit more of the work, but they both looked decent. This is not the matchup to play them, though. You do not want to play a running back that is getting half of the touches against Dallas.
Nope.
Dallas is a very good defense. I know they're a little bit banged up, but they're good enough to stop whoever is in that backfield.
I think they're top 5.
Yeah. I think in fantasy scoring, they're probably still 1 or 2. They're, elite. So I'm not running any running backs against them at all. So on Dallas' side of thing, outside of that, Pollard, roll him out. It's a decent matchup. Rams don't have a great defense. CeeDee Lamb, you're still rolling him out confidently. He's been great. I mean, a little bit disappointing for where you drafted him, but it's CeeDee Lamb. You can't sit him. And then Jake Ferguson, kind of a sleeper tight end. We talked about him a little bit. I am happy with him. You know, I like him this week. I think that he could be getting a decent amount of red zone targets like he usually does. And if he catches a touchdown, it's worth it. So I think it's going to be a passing game between both teams, and I like that. So roll out the pass catchers on both these guys.
Yeah, it'll be a fun game to watch.
Yeah. All right, what's next? Cleveland, Seattle. You want to take this one? I need a little voice break.
Yeah. Okay, so Kareem Hunt is probably, we're going to see if he's going to be the bell cow or not. I think that's going to be the case.
Should be.
Yeah, Amari Cooper continuing to disappoint in fantasy, just in all ways.
Yeah, he's
Very
decent.
annoying. He's decent, but he's not playing to his level. I feel like he can never get on a team that he enjoys playing for.
Yeah. And it's a tough match.
It's a tough matchup. I mean, they're playing at Seattle. Yeah, I mean, Geno is like, wait, he's injured, right? Is Geno injured?
I think Geno's playing. However, both wide receivers on Seattle and wide receivers on Cleveland, it's not a great spot for either of them.
No.
Seattle's secondary has been really, really good this year. Amari Cooper's very talented, but I'm not super happy with it. I think you can roll him out and do okay, but that's why he's on the start thing. And I think if you drafted him, you probably need to.
Geno's been up and down in fantasy points. It's, let's see, he's got 9, 23, 15, 8, 11. That's super annoying to be having to deal with. So there are better matchups out here other than playing Geno. I'm going to pull up just the whole depth chart for the Seattle Seahawks because this is a tough one to be a Hawks fan. Let's see, who do they got here? So yeah, they got Lockett. No, not for Cleveland.
Nope.
You've got Walker. That's the only real play.
Yep.
And then Noah. Is Noah still injured?
Either way, don't care.
Don't care.
Not rolling out. He's not done anything.
Yeah.
Metcalf, I know he's DK Metcalf, and they're going to be throwing the ball to somebody, but it's not the one to do it. I don't really like starting them either of them. No. This is a tough matchup, man.
What about Jake Bobo?
He was fun last week, wasn't he? That was fun. I don't think it'll happen again, but it was fun.
Yeah.
So Metcalf, Lockett, don't like it. If you have Metcalf, I think I'd lean him over Lockett. So roll him out, I guess, if you need to.
Yep.
Not happy about it. Kenneth Walker's been incredible. Love him. He's awesome. He's a little banged up right now, so keep an eye on that injury report. Outside of that,
it'll be fine.
Kind of a nasty one.
Yeah, not great to play. This is going to be, well, we think we know what it's going to happen. And honestly, I think I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think this is just going to be Kansas City goes up by 30 by halftime, and then they just give it to Pacheco for the rest of the game.
Over and over again.
I mean, Mahomes is still kind of, fine. He's still in the top, one of the top QBs in the league, but he's not putting up nearly as many fantasy points as he has been.
Great last week, though.
And that's going to continue to be the case for this game. I don't think he's going to put up a lot of points. They're probably going to be able to actually get the run game going, because when the Chiefs get the run game going, that's very, very dangerous for any team they're playing. Yeah. And you can do that against Denver.
Yes, you sure can. And I really could see Kansas City having 3 touchdowns, maybe more in the first half of this game, then just coasting the rest of the game. So that usually, I'm going to just go out on a limb here and say Mahomes 2 to 3 touchdowns. You're maybe looking at 300 yards, probably a little less. And then Pacheco has a great game.
Yep.
Kelsey has a great game. He always does. Rashee Rice could be the recipient of one of those touchdowns. Maybe. He's a decent flex spot. I think deeper leagues, he's great. Most 10, 12 team leagues, flexible. Flexible.
Yep.
Denver, woof.
The kicker.
Sure. Yeah, if you want to start their kicker, go right ahead.
They're going to get to the 30-yard line. They will never see the red zone. Yeah. And the kicker may end up kicking 3 field goals that are long, and then that'll be it.
That's how it was against Green Bay, and Kansas City's defense is looking better than Green Bay's defense. So a lot of field goals for Denver. I'm not starting anybody.
Ugly game. Is this the Sunday night game?
No. The Sunday night game is...
okay, good.
Who is it?
Bears and Chargers. Good God. All right, let's move on.
Yeah. So, okay.
This is going to be cool. I'm interested to watch this game.
This will be a fun one. Because I don't think Brock Purdy's going to play. He's not clearing from concussion protocol. It doesn't look like it. We talked about that with the injury report, which means we all of a sudden have a game on our hands. Cincinnati's team has been moving up and up on the offensive side, so looking great. And if Brock Purdy doesn't play, San Francisco's offense should be slightly less powerful than they have been. You're starting Christian McCaffrey. You're starting Brandon Ayuk. You're starting George Kittle. I don't think Debo is going to play this week. I'm not sure. Keep an eye on it. Even if he does, it hasn't been super fun. So you're rolling out their studs as usual. Same thing with Cincinnati. You're rolling out their studs as usual. Burrow, Chase, Mixon, and Higgins. Higgins is the one that I'm kind of little worried
On
about.
offense, yeah.
Just because he's been battling injuries. He's got a fractured rib. I don't know how he played last week. And he just hasn't looked like Higgins this year. I would love to see him back to form because I'm a huge T. Higgins fan, but I don't know. Tough one for Mixon also because San Francisco's run defense is great. However, they lost a couple of key players last week. I think you're just starting all the Bengals, and you're starting any San Francisco 49ers that are playing. So this is going to be it could be a high-scoring game, fun one.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, Baltimore and Arizona.
Gee whiz. Okay, so Baltimore is ascendant. Baltimore is doing everything they need to do. Lamar's playing great. He's playing smart. Mark Andrews is an absolute steamroller of a player.
Love him.
Zay Flowers is ascendant as a wide receiver. He's carved out a space for himself. If there's ever a time for him to shine, it's going to be this game. I would even say you roll out the Gus bus because here's why.
Okay.
Because they're going to get up on Arizona.
I would imagine.
And they're going to grind out the after halftime.
He's
going to get a bunch of touches. Probably not. He may get some. He may sneak in and vulture a red zone touchdown, but I think he's going to get high touch game.
That is what you would imagine to happen, and I could 100% see that happening.
Yeah.
However, I think even if they gave Gus Edwards 20 touches, just can't see him doing much with it.
Even against Arizona?
Yeah.
In Arizona, where they didn't even like their own team.
I know. I just can't see him. I mean, maybe if you really need to. I know we had a guy in the chat earlier talking about Gus as his RB2. If you have him as your RB2, I mean, I wouldn't panic or anything. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Gus Edwards just hasn't really done too much recently. Yeah. On Arizona side of things, disgusting matchup for everybody.
Awful.
I have, what was that? Oh,
I was like, that scared myself.
I have DeMarcado as a start this week because I think he's going to get all the touches. Yeah. Big time desperation.
Yeah.
That's why I put him on there. I was like, okay, if you really need it, start him, I guess, over waiver wire pickups. Kind of. Not a good matchup, though. Bad. For everybody on Arizona.
Arizona's not going to jeopardize their tank.
No.
I think they're first up, right? I think they're in line for Carolina.
Carolina's number one, and then Bears, and then Arizona.
Does Carolina have that pick because of the Bears?
No, they don't.
They don't have it? Okay.
No, they don't have a pick. So, yeah, I guess there's no reason for them to tank because they don't have their first-round pick.
Thank you,
DJ Moore. Yeah.
0-6 for no reason.
Yeah, bad.
Gee whiz.
Which is also gross because it means the Bears could be having 2 early first-round picks. Like, I hate that as a Packers fan.
Which means they will squander them.
Oh, yeah. Chicago versus Chargers.
Speaking of squandering, I mean, who's going to be I think it's going to be Teabag. He's going to be the QB for Chicago. That doesn't mean you should play him. I agree. I like the way Badgett played. I don't think, I think it's too early to even say, hey, this guy is the guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Kmet has been, he's been a sneaker. He's been a sneaky little, wily little tight end.
I know he's been frustrating too for a lot of people, but this is the matchup where you roll him out. I'm fairly confident in him this year or this week also, specifically because they have a young rookie tight end. I mean, rookie quarterback. I would imagine he throws the shorter passes to tight ends.
Yep.
I still think you're starting DJ Moore. He's been good enough to where you can keep rolling him out. He's not going to blow anybody's doors off this week, but, roll him out, okay. And then whoever is the starting running back, whether that's Foreman or Roschon, whoever they say is going to be the starter, I would imagine it's Foreman. I would play them 100% against the Chargers. Just keep an eye on who it is. Because if it's Roschon, I would also play Roschon 100% against the Chargers. Chargers defense sucks. It's one of the worst I've ever seen. Speaking of Chargers, Justin Herbert, roll him out. I know he was really bad last week. I think that was just a bad situation overall. Had a bunch of bad passes, a bunch of drops. I'm rolling him out again confidently. He should still be a top 5 quarterback rest of the season. You're starting Keenan Allen. He's been elite. Will continue to be elite. Should be getting force-fed this week, especially if Josh Palmer sits. So keep an eye on that. If he doesn't sit, you're playing Josh Palmer. Austin Eckler, I don't really need to tell you to start Austin Eckler. I know
Yeah.
he wasn't like what everybody wanted last week, but they were coming back from an injury and they were playing from behind. So that's not a good lineup for running backs. This week, they should be leading for the majority of the game, which means Austin Eckler should be getting more work.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
And
no matter what, though, I'm rolling out Eckler.
The Chargers are a complete middle of the road 15th rated defense.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Like, they're 15th rated, but they blow games.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
Yeah.
like nobody's I've never seen before.
Yeah.
So, I'm not starting either of those defenses no matter what, but
No.
the offensive playmakers are okay. What else we got? Should have one or two more. All right,
Ugh.
this is the last one.
All right, hang on.
Yeah, take this one away, Raiders fan.
This is going to be, you just got to start all of Detroit. Literally everyone. Because Las Vegas is going to absolutely poop their pants on this game. Las Vegas has been playing like ass all year. Josh McDaniels, again, has lost the locker room. I don't care if what they say online. It's just, you can tell no one wants to be there. They're going to trade away Hunter Renfrow, which
that
no one
really
cares
matters.
about. No one
Yeah.
cares about. But he is an OG Raider. And when you're trading away veterans in the middle of the year, that is not good just for overall morale because, him and Adams are kind of boys. So it's just not good. Jacoby Myers, you got to play Jacoby Myers. You got to play Josh Jacobs, even though Josh Jacobs is one of the most frustrating running backs to have.
right, but that volume, though.
That volume, though, I know, but he's for where he was drafted.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Awful performance this year. And I'm a Raiders fan. Like, they're my team, and I'm super pissed at the Raiders. We need to rebuild. I don't know what the hell our draft position is, but it's not great. Detroit's they're gonna come back. They're super pissed. They're gonna be playing angry again. They're gonna be playing angry in Detroit.
Yep.
So expect big things from Amon-Ra St. Brown,
Yep.
Laporta, Gibbs, and look, Jahmyr Gibbs did great.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
And it's going to be a repeat performance.
Yep.
Okay.
And then Montgomery's going to come back, and Jahmyr Gibbs will never exist.
Sorry, I have Montgomery, so
Yeah. That's great for
TV,
Montgomery. We
lost
did lose the
everything.
laptop. Let me pull up our stream real quick on my phone. So
We're
we
going to
can
get back
at
to
least
chat.
read
Don't
some
worry, okay? I was doing a lot of things today. The old laptop, it couldn't make it, okay? Now, as soon as we can get more people to subscribe to the channel, we can start generating some income. I can get a new battery for this laptop.
New laptop.
In addition to paying Elijah for his time.
Yes.
All right, let's keep it coming. Keep it coming. Yeah, this game's going to be trash.
That's it, I think. I think it's the last game. Yes.
that's it.
Okay,
Okay,
so the Giants and Jets game actually is the lowest point total. I think it was really close between that game and the other
the
one.
Falcons Titans. I just looked.
Did they change it?
Yeah, it's at 35.5.
wow.
So I think that's the lowest I've ever seen.
Wow.
It's got to be. That's got to be. I mean, for reference, that's like 17 points
Yeah, it's
Wow.
awful.
per team.
Yeah,
Like,
Wow,
holy.
I bet the
Ouch.
under hits though. That's just.
I mean, yeah, but I would imagine the under hits, which is why we have them on the right side of the screen there. That's our not betting advice, but hey, everybody on the Giants and the Jets and the Falcons and the Titans probably bet the under on a lot of those.
Yep. Yep.
Anything that's not a defensive under or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rolling the over against Dallas and the Rams just because those are two should be high-powered offenses, should be a lot of passing.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a fairly predictable game. Two decent teams butting heads the whole game.
The whole game.
Mostly passing. That's my prediction. So I would bet the over on that. 46-point total isn't anything crazy, but that's one of the highest ones this week. I think there was a couple other like 45.5s maybe, but
Let's go.
nothing crazy this week.
Let's go. Nothing crazy.
Yeah,
Except
don't
for the
freak
games,
out.
hopefully.
Yeah. So we
is that
got
all?
one last slide that's very
One last
important.
slide. Oh, okay.
Fantasy Blitz.
Oh, yeah. Fantasy Blitz. No BS, just Blitz. Hit the like button on your way out. That is the fee that you pay for all of this fantastic knowledge. Guys, it's Thursday night.
Enjoy
Don't miss
it.
out on the game. Set your lineup, for God's sake. Don't be
Yes.
that guy who's not setting your lineup.
Don't
okay?
put your Thursday night players in your flex spot. I see
no.
that so often.
Don't do
Stop
that.
doing that.
Stop.
It's bad. It's dangerous. Put your Monday night players in the flex spot. That's
Yep.
what you should be doing.
That's what you should be
Also,
doing.
don't bet on Thursday night games. They never go how people think they're going to go.
Yeah.
Always never
They're
bet
weird.
on Thursday night games.
They're weird.
That being said, go get yourself some beers tonight.
Hey,
Have a great one.
And some wings.
Yeah, some wings.
Watch the Manning cast. The Manning cast is the most superior form of watching football.
I'm not a huge fan of it. That being said, like
Wait, why?
I could watch football on mute and be totally happy.
That's fair.
Understandable, but they're so funny.
They're fun, and I think if you're like really into the workings of football, it's
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
But if you're just watching for fantasy purposes,
That's
like,
true.
and you're just trying to get the game going,
Yeah,
like,
nah.
I don't know. I kind of tend to lean just standard, whatever. I watch Red Zone on Sunday.
Adam is a sad man, so
No.
hit the like button to make him feel better.
I watch Red Zone on Sunday because I don't care about the commentators. I just want
yeah.
to see the stuff going on. Like,
Yeah.
just show me everything. You know, I'm a product of my generation, and my attention span is very short. So
yeah.
enjoy
And-
the weekend.
Yeah.
man. Enjoy the weekend.
We got a
Elijah,
question.
what?
I think we got a question.
Oh, do we?
Oh, we do.
shoot.
Oh,
okay.
sweet.
Chaka. Here it is,
Chaka.
really tiny.
Okay.
What should I do with Thielen? Yes.
That's it.
I will answer that. Yeah. I want to keep playing him because he's been going off, but it scares me that the Panthers might trade for another wide receiver and the offensive coordinator took over play calling. Should I sell high? So, 2 things to say.
I'm glad you asked.
Number 1, watch Tuesday's video.
Yeah, watch
We talk
Tuesday's
about
video.
Thielen a decent amount there. And you will see when you watch that video. He is a sell high candidate for us right now. Now, that being said, he could probably have a good game this week, next week, and the week after that. But after that, his schedule becomes very hard.
Horrendous.
Very hard.
Actually,
and you have to imagine that a wide receiver of his age getting that much work, going into an increasingly harder schedule,
Yep.
you have to imagine that production would fall off at some point,
Yep.
which I would imagine it does. And if you watch Tuesday's video, we say within the next 3 weeks, you should try and trade
You
Thielen.
should. Now is your hype week for Adam Thielen. Even if he has a mediocre game,
If he has a
which,
good game.
which he could have this week, now is your hype week. Start boosting him up in all your text chains, and then sell him in 2 weeks for a target that we have outlined in Tuesday's video, which you must go watch in order to do well in fantasy football. We wheel and deal on Tuesdays, guys. Okay, we're wheeling and dealing. Okay, we're going to the garage sale. We're picking up the waivers, and then we're doing some wheeling and dealing on Facebook Marketplace with some trade targets.
Yeah.
You got to watch Tuesday's videos.
I'd be rolling out. I mean, I would be targeting guys like Olave right now. He's
Yeah.
a decent buy low candidate.
Yeah.
Maybe like Nico Collins or somebody.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I would just see how those guys perform this weekend and then consider next week, maybe the week after that, selling Thielen for sure.
Yep.
Yep.
So I think
Anyways.
that's all.
Yeah.
I'm Nick,
I'm Adam.
and this is Fantasy
I'm Eli.
Blitz, and then he's
Oh, yeah.
Eli.
Wait,
Eli.
redo it.
Hang on, all right, hang on, guys. This is Fantasy Blitz. I'm Nick.
I'm Adam.
I'm Eli.
Have a great Thursday, everybody.
No BS, just Blitz. See you later.